Welcome to episode 4 of the GLI Sports Guys. Jamie, Stuart, and Andrew Rappaport joining you. And what a busy week, Rapp. We have to discuss headlines all over the place.
Especially if you're a Yankee fan, right? I mean, one of the biggest trades the team has made in a long, long time.
This is our GLI rundown. Obviously, we talked about Juan Soto. We got Zach. We got Tommy DeVito. We'll hear from Jack Coan. We're going to talk LuHi basketball. So a lot of great stuff. Let's get into it right off the bat. 25-year-old Juan Soto is a New York Yankee. A huge deal with the Padres. Look, this is the guy that the Yankees have wanted. This is the guy the Yankee fans wanted. Like I said, 25 years old. People were curious as to how Brian Cashman and the organization would attack the offseason. This looks like the old Yankees, right?
My concern is how am I going to attack this T-shirt, right? I have Judge and Allen, my two favorite athletes in New York. Now I got to put Juan Soto in the middle somehow.
Who made that shirt?
That's a great shirt.
Did you make that?
No way, I bought it.
Did Mrs. Rappaport make that?
It's a great shirt, isn't it? But now I got to figure out how to put Juan Soto right in the middle.
That's ridiculous. Don't tarnish the Yankees with your ringless bills.
Oh, stop. Oh, now you're taking a shot. Okay, fine.
So, all right. So let's talk about it. I mean, Juan Soto, look, he was an MVP candidate. He's, I think, a 3-time All-Star. He's 25 years old. And for me, looking at just the left-handed bat at Yankee Stadium, and this guy could, take New York by storm.
It's a no-brainer. Right now, it is a no-brainer. You're getting one of the premier hitters in all of baseball, right? You're a Yankee fan. The offense was putrid last year. Is putrid strong enough word? And I'm a Yankee fan, right?
Horrible. It was like the Jets.
It was horrible. It was disgusting. And it's something we're not used to seeing from the Yankees. It was so bad. They had him do something. The fan base wanted. Cashman fired and Boone fired and everybody. So he goes out and makes this trade. And now I'm reading on social media and all these comments. How do we give up Michael King? I mean, stop. Yeah. What are we doing? Michael King.
I love how fans are like, we should be able to get this
right.
mega top 5 player for a bunch of guys that no one's heard of. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Thorpe, okay, he was a high draft pick. You can only hope he turns out to be half the player that Juan Soto is now.
I mean, the fact that he's 25, Soto and Judge in the same lineup. Now, look, obviously, the elephant in the room is, well, what happens in a year from now? Because they have to re-sign him, and they absolutely do.
I'll worry about that in a year from now.
Right.
We will worry about that. The Yankees will worry about that when the time comes. Yeah, of course, you don't want to see him going to Queens, right? If you're a Yankee fan. But live now, right? Let's worry about the now. Let's worry about the trade that happened now that's bringing a premier 25-year-old lefty power-hitting outfield to the Bronx, right? Now that he's won a World Series, right? He's a perennial all-star. He's 25. Aaron Judge didn't make his debut till I think he was 25 years old. So this guy has accomplished more in these first few years than most players ever have.
He's on the Hall of Fame track already, and yes, he's only 25, but look, I think he's made for the Bronx. I think he's going to be awesome. I also, for the record, don't think there's a chance the Yankees let him go after this year.
Great.
That's my opinion. I don't think there's any way they're going to let that happen. We also have to say, he goes into the outfield now, and I will say this, it looks like Judge would now be moving to center field.
Great.
Personally, that's an injury ready to happen, in my opinion.
The outfield will work itself out. You have Stanton, too, who we know will get injured. Cashman admitted it, and his fans. At the end of the day, me and you are fans. What's the over-under on how many games it takes for Stanton to get hurt? Right? So,
100%.
So that'll work itself out. Right now, we enjoy the trade. I'm not too concerned Michael King. Yes, he was a nice pitcher for the Yankees last year. Yeah. But when did Michael King turn into Garrett Cole? You
got to do it. It's a no-brainer. I will throw this last thing in when you talk about re-signing him. Last year Soto, when he was with Washington, he turned down a 15-year, $440 million contract. Turned it down. Yep. Agent is Scott Boras. Keep that in mind. And I will say in the same breath, if there's any player worth giving more money to when he's 25, 26, it would be Juan Soto.
Sure. And the Yankees obviously have a lot of big contracts. Judge, Cole, Stanton, Rendon. So they have these big money contracts. Right. You figure it out. That's for another day. That's for another day. You know,
Big move of the Yankees.
and now go get the pitcher from Japan.
Right.
Round this team out, and you win the offseason. And we've seen plenty of times. The Mets won the offseason last year, so it doesn't guarantee anything. We've seen it.
Oh,
right?
Of course.
But you can only win the offseason before the regular season gets started. Mission one accomplished. Get 2 lefty bats. Good week for the Yankees. End of story.
Absolutely. No one would disagree with that. And speaking of winning the offseason, the Jets are kings of winning the offseason and until the regular season begins. So, Rapp, we have to talk about the other big news. Hey, welcome back, Zach. It's been a couple weeks, and now Zach Wilson's the starter, and some Jet fans are like, woohoo, this is great. So Zach gets the start. Robert Saleh announces on Sunday against the Texans, and he said, God willing, he will be the starter the rest of the season.
The only word I can use to describe the Jets' quarterback situation this year is bizarre. I mean, I don't even know what are the words are. Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson. I mean, forget the Aaron Rodgers injury thing. Just the way it all shook out with them guaranteeing your boy was the quarterback the rest of the year, and them turning down all these other free agents or minor trades they could have made. And now to bring him back after 2 weeks after being benched, bizarre.
It is bizarre. Zach Wilson gets yet another chance to prove that he can be something serviceable. I think in the middle of the season, he kind of played okay enough to say maybe he could be a backup. But now, once again, he's got a chance after the reports were that Wilson was reluctant to play. He denied those reports. Now he gets to start. The Jets starter last week, Tim Boyle, is cut. I actually feel a little bad for Robert Saleh. I mean, it's like, what is he supposed to do? I know you can sit there and be like, but like, he benched Zach Wilson because the Jets were scoring like 9 points a game, and they lost 2 or 3 in a row. He had no choice but to go to whoever was on the roster.
100%.
The guys on the roster were even worse than Zach. Saleh admitted that Wilson gave them the best chance to win, but he had no choice because they weren't scoring. And now we have to just hope that Zach Wilson can do something.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough of the sample size that we pretty much are confident that he's not going to do anything. So I think the only thing more bizarre than him being back as the starter would be if at the end of the season you're telling me he did enough to prove he should be the number 2 next year. Because I think we both agree that he's done in New York after the season.
I think he's absolutely done, barring he, like you just said, balls out and all of a sudden does what he has not done in over 30 starts.
Right.
And wins, let's say, 4 of the last 5. And so everybody goes, you know what? Let's sign him. Yeah. Let's have him as the backup. I mean, there's a 0.01% chance that happens, but Jet fans are rooting for it, but we'll see.
I think that the Giants quarterback situation, shockingly, even though they have a little bit of craziness going on, is a little more secure than the Jets right now.
Tommy DeVito, he gets a start Monday night, and we asked our own Jack Coan his thoughts on Tommy DeVito and the momentum he brings to Big Blue.
Really, I mean, that's everything to a team, is rallying behind your quarterback and just having a guy you believe in there. And I think sometimes when you get a second or third string guy in there, sometimes, all the other positions on the field know that they all have to step up their game and do better to help, their quarterback out. So I just think in general, sometimes it can elevate the play of a team a little bit when you have a second or third string guy in there. But like I said before, I just think that, he has a lot of juice and swagger to him, and he's got the whole fan base and everyone rallying behind him and energizing the crowd. So I think it's a good move for now, and see how it goes.
Listen, you can't argue with Jack because he was the one who was under center. So if he says momentum is a thing, confidence is a thing, it is. But you just have to wonder, or you have to feel bad maybe for Tyrod Taylor, because Tyrod Taylor is the more experienced guy, right? He's won in this league. He's won with a few different teams. Tommy DeVito has only a handful of wins. So is it a quarterback controversy? I don't know. That's probably made up a little bit. But Tyrod Taylor probably gives them a better chance to win. But this is more of an audition for DeVito to see if he could be the number 2 guy going forward.
100%. You've got both New York quarterbacks auditioning to see if they can be backups.
Yeah, because we know Tyrod Taylor won't be here next year, or he won't play an important role on this team next year.
I got to tell you this. I mean, who knows? I mean, if I was the Jets, Tyrod Taylor would be a nice backup to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you just want all the retreads.
about someone who could throw a forward pass?
Fair point.
All right, so Rapp, we should also talk about, we have question marks with the Jets and question marks with the Giants. 0 questions, only answers when it comes to LuHi basketball. For all you high school basketball fans, did you know that we have the #1 ranked boys and girls high school hoops teams in the country?
How crazy is that to think that the boys team and the girls team both start the season at #1? Yes, they both played games already, so the preseason is over, but they haven't lost yet. So they are still the #1 team in the country. And to think that a Long Island team, now I get it, and I know anybody watching, coaches are going to say, they get players differently. Yes, they are not hometown players. They get to cherry pick, they get to take people from here and here and here, and they get to do what no other school on Long Island does. However, you still have to translate that into talent. And the fact that they both have the #1 teams, that's an amazing, amazing accomplishment.
D1 players across the board.
Yeah, I mean, the girls team has Notre Dame and Syracuse and USC and
Michigan,
excuse me?
Is it Michigan maybe too?
Michigan. Good job. Michigan, one of the best teams in the country. I'm all like...
I know. Well, I mean, it's so much talent. We got, oh, by the way, Carmelo Anthony's son's on the boys team.
Carmelo Anthony's son's on the boys team, and they probably have a player going to Duke, and just the talent. If you've never seen a high school basketball team, or you want to see a great high school basketball team, head to LuHi. Now, the girls team, they're not home until like mid-January.
Okay.
They're on the road for most of the season. And the boys team, they just had a home game this week, actually. And I'm not sure when they're home again. Probably not for another
I think they won by like over 50.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that's what it is. They're an all-star team, and they're fun to watch.
Well, congrats to Coach Buck and Coach Rady, right, for the girls. Amazing job by LuHi. We look forward to watching them all year. One of the few bright spots as far as local sports we can talk about for sure. But big week for the Yankees as they get Juan Soto, and we're going to see Soto and Judge. Don't pull out that shirt again.
Juan Soto. I should have made a label that said Juan Soto. Put him right in the middle.
You know what? You should put him right next to Judge and just have Soto and Judge.
This guy?
You don't need anything else. Thanks for joining us, GLI Sports Guys, episode 4. We hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next week.